because I was very frustrated with Excel and PowerPoint and doing proper product management with these more general purpose tools.
Welcome back to another Tech Times exclusive. Today, we're talking to Malte Scholz. He's the co-founder and CEO of AIRFOCUS. And AIRFOCUS is a modular product management platform. Malte, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Chris. Super excited to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to learn about your platform. If you could please just give us a quick background on yourself and AIRFOCUS.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, my name is Malte, as you said, and I started the company around 4.5 years ago, really as a side project, because I was very frustrated with Excel and PowerPoint and doing proper product management with these more general purpose tools. Mm-hmm. And I just always try to drill a hole with a hammer with these tools. And I was looking for solutions, kind of a single source of truth for the product team to make better product decisions, because product is hard and it's this black box where you need to kind of get it all together, like all the requirements from the outside, the tech requirements, the business requirements, the customer requirements, all of that needs to come together, and it's just super hard. And if you don't have a single source of record where you kind of have everything in one place and you can make better decisions based on data and in a structured way, then you're just lost in times like these where the quality of the product is all that matters. And yeah, I was very curious in this problem. And that's why we built AIRFOCUS over the course of a few weekends, just to solve our own problem, right? And we launched the product on beta list, again, just out of fun. And we learned that this is a problem that all product managers and product teams really have. And we kept iterating, kept adding features. And at some point we learned, okay, there's really a massive opportunity. And then that's when we decided to go all in and get some external funding. Yeah, and since then we have raised around 8 million in venture capital, and we've grown the company quite strongly in the last, especially 2 years. And yeah, that's nice. Kind of the short story of AIRFOCUS.
Right. So you were prompted to start out of almost a personal necessity, like what this is not, there's got to be a better way. There wasn't, so you created one.
Yeah, exactly. I hate waste, and I hate like working on the wrong things, and I'm very impatient, and like the stuff just didn't work, and I wanted to improve it, and that's what urged me to build something better.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. So before we get into the ins and outs of AIRFOCUS, maybe you could give us an origin story to the name, which is I'm very curious about.
Yeah, sure. It's not the classic hero story where you map out the name beforehand and you know exactly this is the name. In our case, it was the focus that stuck with us, right? Like focus is a very strong word. Everyone who's focused wins, and we wanted to do something around focus. And then what you do is you check availabilities on the domain market. Obviously, it's one constraint,
right?
And yeah, and we also like the AIR, right? Like it gives you clarity. It also stands for cloud software, which 4 years ago was a bit more novel than today. I mean, where it's basically table stakes. And yeah, like combining these two words and domain availability kind of led us to this. But this was really a 2-hour exercise. Like we didn't spend more time on the name. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that was a very efficient 2 hours. When I hear AIRFOCUS, actually, when I was started my research and got the little background and everything on the company, my immediate feeling, I guess you could say, or my immediate thought, AIRFOCUS, it seems just makes it feels like what this company does or this platform does is going to make my life easier, right? Like AIRFOCUS, it's like, okay, perfect. Air is light, focus is great. Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing at the end of the day. We have you be more efficient and build the right products at the right time to kind of win the market. And yeah, so we're doing exactly what you resonated with.
Well, then that just means that I think the name per 2 hours well spent for sure, I must say.
Thanks, Chris.
So yeah, since we are, tech times, and we do like to get a little techie around here, if you could maybe, without giving away any, industry secrets, maybe give us a little insight on exactly how AIRFOCUS works.
Yeah, absolutely. So a better understanding of AIRFOCUS you get when you understand a bit what product management is. Again, it's about bringing tech, business, and the users together. And the way to do it is you want to listen to customer feedback, and you want to generate these insights from data, from customers, from feedback, from users, and you then want to link all of that feedback with the items that you have in your product backlog, right? Like the product backlog is that super long list of things that you want to do in order to make your product better and to make your customers happy. And the number one problem for product managers is to prioritize what to do and when, and how to solve the right problems. And with AIRFOCUS, you can connect all that feedback that is so essential for you to have the resource available to make better decisions, and you can connect that feedback with your product items. And then you, depending on the requirements that you have as a product team, you can use different tools that we offer. For example, if you want to create a prioritization framework where you can score your items and you get a score that tells you this feature is more important than the other one, or this problem I should tackle first. We also have a very powerful roadmap builder that allows you to visualize and communicate to other stakeholders in the company, for example, marketing, sales, or even most importantly, the development teams, what problems you're tackling when, and then also when it comes to release planning, when exactly which feature is going to be built and which dependency it might have to another one, right? So roadmap planning, release planning, that's all stuff that we are offering. And yeah, then AIRFOCUS kind of sits on top of the other productivity systems that you're already using, such as Jira, Trello, Asana, Slack, Intercom. And we are deeply integrated with these systems, even from day one, because we're not here to replace your existing infrastructure. We're here to adapt to your existing workflows and just help you make better decisions together as a team. And yeah, we have built this quite robust web platform that now thousands of teams use globally. And I think the other interesting fact about AIRFOCUS is that we were able to get to this level of traction without any sales team. So we just started setting up a sales team, which is great. I love it. It's working really nicely. But the way we have designed and built the product in the very first years and even up to date is that it allows people to sign up on their own for a free trial and get value without any outside help or sales consultants or training. It's super easy to use and very flexible also in terms of adjusting to the problems that you have today and now.
Okay, so you can try this for free, which is great. We will get into that a little bit later about where they can find it and everything. But I want to ask more on a personnel level. So we're talking about product management and streamlining and road mapping. So for the product managers themselves, could you explain how AIRFOCUS enables them to be more successful than they already are?
Yeah, I mean, product management in most cases is a team sport. So you all want to operate out of the same space. And in AIRFOCUS, it's a workspace where you centralize all your product work before it goes into development, right? Like again, most product companies use tools like Jira or Azure DevOps to then manage developers and nitty-gritty sprints and stuff like that. So AIRFOCUS comes in before that, when you have maybe a rough idea that there's a problem, and then you're taking that problem through a structured process from like, this is new stuff, this is something that we're looking at right now, this is something where we're going into the solution space and maybe create some designs and run experiments on these first prototypes. And then stuff goes further along in this process. For example, you then have pretty good confidence that this is something that you want to build, and you know approximately also how much time it's going to take. And then it's really about prioritizing these different solutions that you have. And we give you like hands-on tools that allow you to be just much more effective in running these processes, because it's very much about like standardizing things, using best practices, right, and making sure you're using an agile and product centered mindset here, where you actually make the right decisions and not just do stuff because the CEO wants it, or some special customer with a lot of power or leverage forces you to build things. You need to build a product that is right, and if you don't do it, you may be well off for the next 6 months because you satisfy your boss or the top tier customer, but like in 2 years you're going to lose because you've not built a sustainable product. So it's yeah, it's in a market where there's like so much competition and where it's just $50,000 away from building a prototype with some tech agency offshore. You just need to be very strategic. It's not about building features. Everyone can build features. It's about like building the right features and solving the right problems, and being customer driven and connecting the dots. And for that you need a system that is built for that.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, you don't want, like you said, I think one of the largest, you know, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the most significant problems with you know, a company that creates products is wasted time. You know, like you know the old saying, back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board could cost you millions. You know, like or you know, even knock you out of the space if a competitor does not go back to the drawing board. Then obviously they're finished first.
Yeah, there are statistics that 60 to 70% of the things that software developers build are actually waste and have no positive, sometimes even negative value. So if you use that number and you multiply it by the spendings in the software space, you're landing at trillions of dollars. So it's crazy amounts of waste, and it doesn't matter how much you optimize down the line with like, okay, let's try to be 5% faster here, and let's use an automation tool here. If you don't get the first part of the journey right, like focusing on the right problems, it doesn't matter where you optimize at the end, because it's not going to deliver the value that you want to have.
Right, very true, very true. So on that note, if you haven't already answered this, I don't think, you know, how important for, you know, we talked about AIRFOCUS and what it does and what it can do for, you know, those teams of product managers and everything. So, you know, how important is exceptional product management to just, even from the early stages, to just get a company or a business just moving?
Yeah. So I think for startups and founders who are by nature very focused and highly motivated and incentivized, they maybe don't need a dedicated platform. They're fine by just focusing on actually getting stuff done, because they have the perfect picture and the vision and the objectives, everything mapped out in their crazy clever heads. But like once a team scales and you add more people that maybe don't have all that context, it's just impossible to to not have standardized processes. And it really starts with the vision, right? Like you have this vision where you want to be in 2 to 5 years, and you need to break that down into objectives for the year and the quarter. And now we're talking OKRs, which is probably a familiar concept to you. And you want to make sure that the entire company is aligned and around the same set of objectives. And that's mostly true and mostly important also for the product team, right? Like they need to know which business objectives they need to hit, and then how they are measured. And then they need to kind of build the entire product workflows and the entire product work around these objectives. And that's just like how modern product teams work. They very much focus on outcomes over outputs. So you don't want to become a feature factory that's just shipping.
Right.
You want to focus on the right problems and generate business outcomes. And that's also related to a trend that we're seeing more and more, and that also got validated with a recent survey of 300 PMs that we did, where we learned that product managers have to become much more strategic and business oriented. And that the big problem is that they're still spend most of their time managing stakeholders, doing project management, reporting, all of that stuff that's not helping you to be strategic. And yeah, that's kind of one of the benefits of having a structured product management platform and these standardized workflows, that you actually find time and you force yourself to be strategic. And also having these prioritization frameworks, for example, that give you also defensibility and good argumentation. So when the CEO enters the next meeting and says, "Hey, I had this dream last night and I want you all to stop working right now and do this," what you do then, you show them the priority chart and you tell them, "Hey, we have recently aligned on these 3 objectives for the quarter. Don't come now with your dream last night. Let's focus on these business objectives, and let's talk about your dream next quarter." So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I can understand that a little bit, coming from a product field prior to doing this, actually prior to the world just turning upside down. But that does, I know you said it kind of jokingly, but it's so common, especially, you know, a CEO comes in and we're going to do this, and then most times it's like, well, you know, it's your company. What are we going to do? But now it would have been nice those however many years back to have something to, because I know and they know, but the boss doesn't know, and it's difficult to explain. But with something like this, it would be like, well, like you said, like, look, this is, you know, great idea, but as far as company wise, this is, you know, here you can see it's a visual aid. So yeah, man, this would have been helpful a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm now on the other side, right? Like I'm now the CEO of the company, and we have product managers, and they come to me and tell me, "Hey, thanks for the feedback. And we treat it as feedback as we treat other feedback. And you're welcome to join our refinement in a month. But right now we are focusing on these 3 objectives, and you please queue up like all the others." So,
right.
And it's a good thing.
Right. It kind of, I don't know, maybe sometimes feels like it may reel you back in, like, okay, yeah. Like, yeah, I hired you guys, do your job.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, that's, yeah. Well, thank goodness for AIRFOCUS, for those hardworking people that used to get maybe trampled on by, you know, higher management or owners or things like that. You know, or like you said, powerful customers, which can be a real pain sometimes.
Yeah.
So please, tell our viewers where they can find AIRFOCUS and the free trial and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just go to airfocus.com. There are like a million CTAs that lead you to the free trial. And yeah, you can also always connect with me on LinkedIn, and I make an intro to one of our product consultants that you can talk to. And yeah, and I also would recommend to check out some of the resources that we have put out. So we have written pretty helpful ebooks and guides around product management, prioritization, road mapping, how to deal with feedback and generate insights, all of that. And yeah, just check it out on airfocus.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Malte. Maybe if you can give us maybe a little insight into what AIRFOCUS is planning next.
Yeah, so as I said in the beginning, we are a modular platform, which means we are trying to adapt to your workflows because, and this is important, and we learned that companies are unique and they are unique for a reason. And it's never good to come to you and tell you, hey, you're doing a very bad job. You now have to use our system and change everything. We rather think that we should try to understand why you do things in a certain way, and then we try to adapt to your problems that you have right now. And then we do that kind of by providing you templates that help you get very fast results, and that you can then build on top of it. What this means is, if you just need a roadmap, we give you like a super simple roadmap builder, and then you can build on top by adding more views, more apps. So an app is like a little tool that solves a very specific problem. For example, I now want to use the priority ratings app that allows me to create a powerful prioritization framework. Then you just add it on top. And we have a few of these little apps that you can use to kind of do product management in a better way, or solve very specific PM problems better. And we are now in the next year gonna add more of these use cases on top of this modular platform, which primarily means we're adding more apps. For example, we are gonna allow you to also manage OKRs in AIRFOCUS. We are gonna allow you to create a branded public portal where you can engage with your audiences on a branded interface, and where you can collect feedback from different audiences. So a lot of very exciting things to come next year, and yeah, super stoked about what's coming next.
All right, that's fantastic. Yeah, please, when those things, when you roll those out, feel free to come back to Tech Times, and we'll dive into those as well and inform the viewers and possibly people who will really relate and latch on to this platform.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks.
All right, absolutely. So thank you, Malte, and Tech Timers, we will see you next time.
Thanks a lot again for the invite. Have a great day.
You too.